I'm going to be telling you the top 5 cards at every single position in MLB The Show 23. Aside from that, I'm going to give you one honorable mention, and I'm going to be telling you the pros and cons of each and every single card. But we're going to move quick, so buckle up. We're not going to be focusing on anything budget related. We're going to have a video for the top budget options at a later time. This one is counting every single card. Now, a couple things. For starting pitchers, I'm going to give you 5. But for relief pitchers and closers, I'm going to give you 3. 3 righties and 3 lefties. Also, we're only going to be talking about primary positions. There's going to be some pros and cons, and I'm going to tell you some cards that I think would be better at a secondary position. But I'm going to be focusing just on the primary position. So buckle up and let's go ahead and get started. These are the top 5 catchers in MLB The Show 23. For honorable mention, I'm going to go ahead and say Gary Sanchez. As you can see, 82 contact and 75 contact is kind of low, but he does have very good power. Clutch is a little bit higher than the actual contact, so that's very good, but it's still kind of low. If you're playing on All-Star and everything like that, this card is going to be an absolute beast. Obviously, he has a very strong arm, and his swing every single year is elite. Coming in at number 5, I'm giving it to Francisco Alvarez. Very good power, solid contact, and even better clutch. We're going to be focusing a lot on clutch because it is very important. You want the clutch rating to be very high, but when you come up with runners in scoring position, fielding-wise, not elite, speed-wise, not elite. His swing is above average. Number 4, I'm going with Salvador Perez. As you can see, very well balanced offensively, okay defensively, clutch rating very high. Again, his swing is very good. If you see what I did, I'm 3 for 3 with 3 home runs. I'm using one game, had a 3 home run performance. I haven't used him since just because I got Posada, which I'm going to mention him a little bit later, but Salvador Perez is still very, very good. Coming in at number 3, I'm going with Ivan Rodriguez, the new home run derby, flashback home run derby, Ivan Rodriguez, max out power. We've never had a Pudge Rodriguez that have that kind of power. It's usually the other way around. Max contact with mid-90s power. This time, it's the other way around. Plus, he does have 112 clutch, which is elite. Obviously, with running scoring position, it's going to be 112 contact with 125 power, no matter who you're facing. His defense, it's not Pudge defense, but it's still pretty good. 88 arm there. But if we look at the quirks, his quirks are very good. He does have first pitch hitter, day player, homebody, dead red. So he's going to hit fastballs. Good, again, with situational hitter. And as you can see that pop time, even though the defense is not there, he's still going to be throwing guys out trying to steal. At number 2, I'm going with JT Realmuto. And as you can see, no really weak spots. He's very fast, very good defensively, solid power, solid clutch. He's just well balanced, probably the only 5-tool catcher that we have in MLB The Show 23. And that is exactly why he's a top 2 catcher, in my opinion. The fact that he's not a switch hitter, I think that's why I went the other way for the number 1. But I'm number 1, I'm going with Jorge Posada. Switch hitting catcher with these numbers, you just don't find it anywhere. 104 contact against right with 120 power, 125 and 95 against lefties. Now, the clutch, it is a little bit on the lower end, lower than the contact, but his swing is still so good. He's still a gold defender at 85. P5 will get you to diamond defender. I do have him parallel 3, as you can see, because what I do with this card is unreal. And I'm going to take into consideration a lot of it is going to be the swing. Not all about is the attributes. The swing does matter. He's almost at a 2,000 OPS. He does have his squares as well. As you can see, first pitch hitter, you can be aggressive with him as well. Like I mentioned in a previous clip, situational hitter and fighter. That's definitely going to help in clutch situations as well with him, even though his clutch rating is a little bit low. But Jorge Posada is definitely the best catcher in MLB The Show 23. Now let's look at the first basemen. These are the top 5 first basemen in MLB The Show 23. For honorable mention, I'm going with Joey Meneses. As you can see, very well balanced, 100 clutch. He does have a very good swing. I've used his live series in BR, and the card absolutely smashes. He can play third and left field as well. 63 fielding is not elite, but honestly, at first base, you don't really need a whole lot of defense. You can kind of hide him at third base as well if you want. He does have good arm, but his swing is still pretty solid. Coming in at number 5, I'm going with Freddie Freeman. Power is just not there for a first baseman as much as the other option. I think that's the only difference with Freddie Freeman. He still has a very good swing, very good quirks as well, obviously every single year. And yeah, a little bit of a higher, taller strike zone, you know, with a 6'5" player, but I know some people can struggle with that, but Freddie Freeman is still a very good cheap option too. Coming in at number 4, I'm going with the Ryan Howard. Max out power at first base. That's exactly what you need out of a first baseman, right? Like a lot of power. He has an elite swing, still high contact, 112 and 92, and clutch is still 103. So he kind of meet in the middle when it comes to contact with righties and lefties when runners in scoring position. So yeah, Ryan Howard is a solid option. Coming in at number 3, I'm going with Miggy Cabrera. And the reason, it was very close, and he's going to be close with a lot of these cards. But Miggy, I have him slightly better than Ryan Howard just because he's a little bit more well balanced. And he's a little bit better defender, even though first base defense doesn't matter as much, but it does matter a little bit more this year with the pickoff throws there over at first. So I'm going Miggy at number 3. He's still a very good option as well. Coming in at number 2, I'm going with the brand new legend, Mark McGwire, max out power. Of course, Mark McGwire was going to have max out power against both sides. 102, 101 contact is still very good. 96 clutch, a little bit, again, on the lower end than the actual contact, but I mean, power from a first baseman. That's exactly what you need. Coming in at number 1, I'm going with Lou Gehrig. And as you can see, 110, 101 against right, 104, 98 against left, 114 clutch. And I think that's the key as well. He's very good. His swing is so smooth. Every single year, he's good. I think it's easy to feel comfortable when using Lou Gehrig. And I think that's also part of the reason why I have him at number 1. He does have a bunch of quirks, pretty much every single quirk that is definitely going to help him out when you try him out. Now, these are the top 5 second basemen in MLB The Show 23. As an honorable mention, I'm going with Craig Biggio. As you can see, very high contact, like every Craig Biggio card. 125 clutch is very good. The power, though, and I know second baseman, you don't necessarily need all that power. You want more defense and speed, and he does have it. But 67 power and 65 power, and I have him parallel too, is not very good. Coming in at number 5, I'm going with Joe Morgan. Very similar to Craig Biggio, kind of like a righty Craig Biggio with a little bit more power. Elite fielder, elite speed, elite contact. Clutch is 107. He's still pretty good. His max out contact against right. 82 and 71 power is pretty decent. Above average, definitely. His swing and stance is kind of weird. I know a lot of people kind of struggle with that, but he's still Joe Morgan. He's still going to be good. His swing itself is good, but the stand, how close he gets and the strike zone, it kind of shrinks. It's kind of weird, but that's why we have him at number 5. At number 4, I'm going with Gleyber Torres. Even though he's a 97 overall, he's still a gold defender over at second base. 62 speed is pretty decent still for a middle infielder. 97, 86 against righties. 105, 114 against left. 93 clutch is still pretty good. He's just well balanced. No weak spots in Gleyber Torres' game. And talking about cars that can do it all, I'm going to number 3 with Marcus Semien. 90 speed, 94 fielding. Very well balanced offensively, as you can see. But the only reason why he's not higher in this list is because that clutch rating. And you can even make a case for somebody like Gleyber being better than Marcus Semien at this point, because that clutch does matter. He doesn't have it. He does have a very solid swing, but yikes, that PCI is going to shrink. Somebody that's PCI is not going to shrink, and I have him at number 2. Number 2, second baseman, Robinson Cano, elite hitter. As you can see, 115, 99 contact, 92, 97 power, 116 clutch per 9, gold defender, 41 speed. He's not going to, he's not going to be stealing bases, but he's not there for that. He's going to be jogging around the bases because he's going to hit a lot of moonshots for you. But coming in at number 1, I'm going with Ketel Marte, just switch hitter. Well balanced all around. 114 clutch. As you can see, he does have max out contact against lefties with 102 power. 87 power against righties is still very good. Silver defender, above average speed in 69. I mean, his swing every single year, Ketel Marte has a very good swing. And it feels like every switch hitter has a very good swing. And I do give a lot of extra points for switch hitters. And that's why we have Ketel Marte as the best second baseman in MLB The Show 23. Let's talk about the third baseman. These are the top 5 third basemen in MLB The Show 23. Honorable mention, I'm going with Chris Bryant. Brand new Chris Bryant, basically maxed out against lefties. 106, 104 against righties is very good. Clutch, it's a little bit on the lower end, 92. Obviously a big difference from the contact. Solid fielder, solid speed. He's very versatile. As you can see, basically plays every position except second and catcher and pitcher. He is very good. That clutch kind of hurts him a little bit. The fact that he's very good against lefties is very good, but you're not going to be facing a ton of lefty. There's still not a ton of great lefty pitchers. The meta right now is righties. So there's that disadvantage for him, and that's why he just missed the cut. Coming in at number 5 for third baseman, I'm going with Eddie Matthews. Very well balanced. As you can see, he does it all. He hits. His defense is pretty good. 58 speed is very good. I did a video on him earlier in the year if he was a keeper sell from the BR program. This card is very good. Top 5 third baseman for sure. We do have better options, but if you have Eddie at third, you're not hurting your team as much. Coming in at number 4, I'm going with Joan Moncada. And just, again, switch hitter, gold defender, 109 clutch, high contact, high power. This card is kind of slept on. I don't really see him a lot on teams. Obviously, a lot of people have the power guys and the chippers and stuff, but Joan Moncada can also play second base. And if we look at the ranking in second baseman, Joan Moncada is right there with Ketel Marte. He's definitely a top 2, top 3 second baseman, so you can use him there as well. But as a third baseman, he's still a very solid option. Coming in at number 3, I'm going with Munetaka Murakami. Now, it took me a second to kind of like get his swing down, right? It was a weird swing. We've never had this card in the game, but he does have max out power. 110, 113 contact with 107 clutch is still very good. I got the timing down of the swing, so I'm coming along, I'm hitting, but that max out power against both sides, it's always going to play. Coming in at number 2, I'm going with Manny Machado. 125 clutch, that is the game breaker there for compared to the other third baseman. When with running scoring position, he's going to have max out contact with 104 and 118 power, 118 contact and 99 contact without. It's still elite. Elite defense. You can see 97. I have it 98 because I do have him parallel 1. He does it all. His swing this year, I think, is a little bit better. It feels better. I feel very comfortable with him at the plate. As you can see, over 2,200 OPS. Yeah, he's very good. But he's not better than Chipper Jones. I have Chipper Jones as my best third baseman. I mean, pretty much max out everything. I have him parallel 3, and he was an easy parallel 3. Gold defender, 79 speed. His swing is elite. Switch hitter. As you can see, my numbers, again, over 2,200 with a little bit of a more sample size than the Manny Machado. He has all the quirks as well. Very important quirks, breaking ball and fastball. You need Chipper Jones. And I know you have a tough decision to make when you do the set 1 collections, but Chipper Jones has to be at the top of that list. Let's talk about shortstops. These are the top 5 shortstops in MLB The Show 23. Honorable mention, I'm going with Anthony Volpe, and it's weird. I don't know. I don't feel comfortable with his swing. He doesn't have any weak spots. If we look at his cards and attributes, very good option, but we have a lot of good options at shortstop. Coming in at number 5, I'm going with Elly De La Cruz. So you can see very well balanced, almost like Anthony Volpe, but he is a switch hitter, a little bit taller for a shortstop, but that's definitely going to help with making plays, those diving plays up the middle or towards the third base. 95 speed, 86 fielding. This card is solid. Coming in at number 4, I'm going Trey Turner, an MLB The Show legend. We all know about his swing. 113, 125 contact, 88, 110 power, 125 clutch. That is the difference. 99 speed. He's going to be a threat. He can also play second, third, and center field. I mean, this card does it all. No Trey Turner card has ever disappointed anybody. Coming in at number 3, I'm going with Francisco Lindor. Just very well balanced all across the board. Everything over 100. His swing is among the best swings in MLB The Show. 99 fielding, 77 speed is still very good. And I've been using him as my God Squad shortstop. As you can see, 441 batting average, 1,500 OPS. The card rakes. Coming in at number 2. Number 2 for the Yankees, Derek Jeter. He is the MLB collection, so he's a little bit expensive, but max out contact. He does have max out clutch, so he's always going to have max out contact no matter the situation. 88 and 99 power is definitely very good. They gave him diving defense, 90 speed. He is amazing. He's just very good all-around card. Coming in at number 1, I'm going Fernando Tatis Jr. And I know he doesn't have any quirks because, you know, he really didn't play much last year. He got suspended, but 125 power, 94 speed, 125 clutch, even contact. No runners in scoring position, no problem. He has 107 and 110 still contact, but that 125 clutch, runners in scoring position, he's a max out hitter with 94 speed. Think about that. You don't find this anywhere. And that's the reason why he's a chase pack too. And that's the reason why he's still going for about 250K, because he's worth it. He's worth that much. He is just a creative player, basically. I know a lot of you guys are using creative players. I'm not, because of the cards like this. Now let's talk about the top 5 left fielders in MLB The Show 23. As an honorable mention, I'm going with Jorge Soler. I mean, a BR god every single year. He has a lot of power. As you can see, 112 or 111, 122, 96 clutch. He's actually higher than the contact. I love that. He's more of a DH, right? He doesn't have the fielding. He doesn't have a lot of speed, but he can play some left field. He has a solid arm. Jorge Soler is just going to hit bombs. Coming in at number 5, I'm giving it to Corbin Carroll. 99 speed, 92 fielding, 121, 106 contact with 94 clutch. That's kind of like the bummer. And that 78 power against left. Those are kind of like the weak spots, but I mean, 99 speed in the outfield is always going to be amazing. Coming in at number 4, I'm going with Greg Vaughn. As you can see, just 98, 99 contact, 117, 114 power, 98 clutch. So basically the contact is always going to remain the same. His fielding is actually pretty solid. 84 fielding, 76 reaction. He's not elite and he doesn't have the speed to make up for it. I don't see a lot of Greg Vaughns this year. And, his swing might not be good. I know a lot of people just got him and sold him in the BR program. But, I mean, that power, it's always going to play. Coming in at number 3, I'm going with Jock Peterson. That 125 clutch is always going to be huge. And he's going to destroy lefties with 119 power. He's still very serviceable against lefties, 101 and 93. His problem is he's a DH, right? 64 fielding, 57 reaction, 49 speed. It's just not there for a left fielder, but for a DH, he's definitely a must-have. And if you don't have him in DH, make sure you plug him in on the bench because you can definitely bring him in on late game situations with runners in scoring position. That's a max out contact against righties with 119 power or 117 if you've never used him. But, I mean, there's a lot of righties, and this is a righty killer. Coming in at number 2, I'm going Ricky Henderson. Obviously, elite speed. Very similar to Corbin Carroll, but the righty version, right? Righty version of Corbin Carroll. Basically the same card. He does have 103 clutch, so he's a little bit lower than the actual contact. His swing, I've never been the biggest fan of his swing, but, you know, he's the greatest leadoff hitter of all time. And 99 speed, he has one of the best no dot animation as well, not taking that into account. But still, it's fun card to use. But coming in at number 1, I'm going Christian Yelich. And yeah, the attributes doesn't really back it up, even though he's very good, basically everything about 100. But he's very good at everything. His swing is absolutely elite. I'm going to show you my stats in just a second, but I have him at parallel 4. That means 82 speed, 79 fielding. So he's not a liability in the outfield like maybe like a Jock Peterson. Jock Peterson might be the better hitter, but Christian Yelich is just the better all-around card. I have no idea what this swing does, but 573 batting average, almost 2,000 OPS in 124 plate appearances. I cannot bench him. I'm almost there for parallel 5, and I'm going to be one of the first 250 maybe people to get him. Hopefully, he's that good. I'll put Christian Yelich as the best left fielder right now. Now, let's talk about the top 5 center fielders in MLB The Show 23. Honorable mention, I'm going with Jazz, and I hate that I just left him out of the top 5 because this card is unreal. Center field is unreal. He's very stacked. The only problem I see with him is that 83 contact and 83 power against left. I have him parallel 1, so he's 82 and 82. He does make up for it with that 116 clutch, but there's going to be times that you're not going to hit with runners in scoring position. Obviously, I understand that there's not a lot of lefties as well. He does have very good fielding, very good reaction, very good speed, obviously, but center field is just stacked. It's just weird. So to see that contact against lefties there, I took 1 point off, and that's why he missed out on the cut. At number 5, I'm going Torrey Hunter, 106 contact against right with 91 power, 125, 106 against lefties, 116 clutch is definitely very solid. Awesome defender. Obviously, every Torrey Hunter card is going to be amazing. 79 speed is not elite like Jazz, and it was very close between the two. It was kind of like a flip of the coin, but I'll go Torrey Hunter as number 5. At number 4, I'm going with Jim Edmonds, 112, 94 contact, 125, 115 power, 93 clutch. Clutch is a little bit on the lower end. Speed is a little bit on the lower end. Again, very close between all of these cards. It's actually crazy. You can't go wrong, but let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. 97 fielding, 92 reaction is going to make up for that speed, but that power is just so good, and his swing is always elite. Coming in at number 3, I'm going with Julio Rodriguez. And look at this card, and this is the 3rd best center fielder in MLB The Show 23. Like, no weak spots at all. 106, 106 against right, 101, 104 against left with 116 clutch. Love the fact that he's better with runners in scoring position. That 99 speed is elite at center field. You know, it's kind of like the other way around as Jim Edmonds. He doesn't have the reaction, but he does have the speed, so it kind of balances it out a little bit. Coming in at number 2, I'm going with Ken Griffey Jr. And talk about a coin flip. I mean, it's so tough. There's no wrong decisions. I'm going Griffey, 107 contact against right, 112 power, 102, 106 against lefties, 119 clutch. No weak spots when it comes to speed, defense over there at center field. And talk about elite swing. Yeah, this card has an elite swing. You guys saw a video that I had him in BR, just hit tanks after tanks after tanks, even though I wanted to swing at every single pitch because he's Ken Griffey, and I feel like I'm going to hit a home run on every single pitch, and that wasn't the case. But he's still the 2nd best center fielder in MLB The Show, because the best center fielder in MLB The Show, I'm going with Mike Trout. I mean, what can Mike Trout do? Like, he does it all. 47 steal is the only attribute that you're like, kind of weird. 97 speed, he's going to be elite. There's something about Mike Trout. The reaction is not elite like the others, but the speed is. There's something, and that something is the quirks. He has the most important quirks. So you can see on face, he's going to be very good with 2 strikes. He can hit. He's going to hit the fastball. He's going to hit the breaking balls. He's going to hit the pitches out of the zone. Like, he just does it all, and his swing is absolutely unreal. As you can see, 475, over 1,600 OPS in 64 plate appearances. He's my center fielder right now, and very close between Griffey. I'm actually working on getting Ken Griffey Jr. and add him because I want both of them in my lineup. Now, these are the last one of the position players. Top 5 right fielders in MLB The Show 23. Honorable mention, I'm going Giancarlo Stanton. That power is amazing. His speed is not. So he's definitely more like a DH. And we're going to see some of those here in right field. But that 125, 124 power, he is a little bit taller, but they fixed his swing a couple years ago, and Giancarlo Stanton's swing is unreal. Coming in at number 5, I'm going with Juan Soto. And his swing is unreal. I mean, his defense is not great. Speed is not great, but there's something about his swing. He does have 118 clutch. If you haven't used him, he's 115. I have him parallel 3, and this is what I've done with him. He's been legit my best hitter so far, and him and Yelich has been unreal for me. 109 power, 97 power, as you can see, parallel 3. Like, he's going to hit both sides. He's going to hit them well. Coming in at number 4, I'm going Kyle Tucker. The reason why I went Kyle Tucker over Juan Soto was because he's a little bit better, well-rounded outfielder, right? A little bit better defender, a little bit faster, not by much. Hitting-wise, he's still very good, as you can see. Like, 109 clutch goes with the 116 and 98 contact, 100 and 115 power. Kyle Tucker is always one of those underrated cards that not a lot of people use because outfield is usually just stat. And this year is no exception. Coming in at number 3, I'm going with Vladdy Guerrero, the father. And he's one of the best DHs in the game. As you can see, 108, 106 contact, max out power, max out clutch. Defense is not there. He does have the arm, but speed and defense is not there. You can probably hide him in right field if you have another better option at DH as well. This card is unreal. Again, the power, the clutch, and the quirks. He has it all. Vlad is going to be hitting a lot of moonshots. Coming in at number 2, I'm going Babe Ruth. And he is the best hitter in MLB The Show 23. I mean, max out everything, as you can see. Defense is not even a big liability. I think his best position is probably first base. If you can find a better outfielder defender, which I have at number 1. But Babe Ruth is definitely a must-have. I did pick Chipper first. I'm going Babe Ruth second. I think I have enough cards for that now. And he's going to be my lineup because he is the best hitter in MLB The Show 23, but second best right fielder in the game. Because at number 1, I'm going with the brand new legend, Sammy Sosa. Sammy Sosa is the best right fielder in the game because he does it all. 84 speed, as you can see in the right field, he's elite. The arm, he can play center field, 96 fielding, 89 reaction, max out power against both sides, 121 contact, 106 against lefties, 116 clutch is still very good. Sammy Sosa is the best right fielder in the game because he just does it all. Now let's talk about starting pitchers. These are the top 5 starting pitchers in MLB The Show 23. Coming in at number 5, I'm going Grayson Rodriguez. I'm not giving you any honorable mentions because there's so many honorable mentions. It's all very close, I feel like, especially in this 4, 5, 6 spot. I'm going Grayson Rodriguez. Outlier fastball with a slider. He also has a cutter, and that slider cutter speed differential is about 8 to 10 miles an hour, which is very good. His per 9 is still solid, 102 and 105 clutch. Obviously, the clutch is going to be for runners in scoring position, similar to the hitter. So, obviously the outlier is going to play better in the higher difficulties Hall of Fame and legend. On All-Star, it's not going to be as effective, but he's still very good. Coming in at number 4, I'm going Pedro Martinez. Very similar to Grayson Rodriguez. Outlier fastball. He has a slider and a cutter as well. 7 mile an hour difference there. His circle change amongst the best in MLB history. 106 hits per 9s, 109 clutch per 9s. Yeah, he's going to be my last pick when it comes to Chipper and Babe because pitchers, you want the guys that you can use in every single game, but Pedro Martinez is still a very solid option. An expensive one, but a solid one. Coming in at number 3, I'm going Yu Darvish. 104 hits per 9s, 98 clutch. He's still very good. A lot of the pitchers are very similar to this. We just love the pitch mix. Cutter, slider, sinker, splitter, four seam. That four seam is going to be touching 98. The cutter at 88. Slider, low 80s. He has a little bit of a funky delivery that can mess with the opponent's timing. And I think that's the reason he's very good. He has pitches that break everywhere. Coming in at number 2, I'm going with Roki Sasaki, a new card here in MLB The Show 23. 110 hits per 9s, 113 clutch per 9s, 99 velo, 99 break, sinker cutter guy with if we look at the quirks, he has outlier in both his sinker and his four seam. I wish the sinker didn't have the outlier because there would be even more of a speed differential, but you can throw every single pitch and he's going to dot it. And I cannot wait to keep using this card. I had a lot of fun using him so far. The best pitcher in MLB The Show, and it's the best pitcher in MLB right now. Shohei Ohtani, 107 hits per nines, 125 clutch, fastball, slider. I mean, outlier fastball, obviously, as you can see, but you all know about Shohei. You know the reason he can do it all. He's a pitcher that you can use every single game. You can use him at DH because he has 125 power and 116 against lefties with 104 clutch, 96 contact against. I mean, what can Shohei Ohtani do? Oh, by the way, he has 99 speed. 99 speed to go along with this. Might be the best card in MLB The Show history. And last but not least, let's go over the best relievers in MLB The Show 23. Coming in at number 3, I'm going with Rob Nen as the righties. 117 hits per nines, 125 clutch. A little bit of a slept-on card because he doesn't have 5 pitches. He doesn't have a sinker. He doesn't have a cutter. I mean, he does have outlier from that fastball. So that fastball is going to be coming in hot. That 125 clutch is going to matter, especially in the late innings. Coming in at number 2, I'm going with Eric Gagne. He doesn't have a weak spot. Outlier fastball with the changeup. That curveball that is 70 miles an hour, it feels like it's never going to get to the home plate. Splitter, slider as well. Obviously, as a World Series reward, anybody can get him basically for free. But yeah, he's up there amongst the best relievers in MLB The Show 23. The best reliever in MLB The Show 23, I'm giving it to Shohei. I mean, 121 clutch, 117 hits per nines, pitch repertoire is there. You know what he can do hitting wise as well. Like you can use him as a pinch hitter. 99 speed. I want all of the Shohei Ohtani cards. As far as the lefties is concerned, Gregory Soto is my 3rd best lefty reliever in MLB The Show 23. 123 hits per nines. You see that clutch there. The control is a little bit weird, right? 60 control, 67 walks per nines, but he throws gas with that sinker and that slider. That's exactly what you want and what you're going to see in the best lefty relievers in the game. Coming in at number 2 as the lefty relievers, I'm going Bailey Wagner. 110 hits per nines, 125 clutch per nines. And I think that's the difference. He is a little bit expensive because he's the AL West collection, which you need DeGrom, Trout, Ohtani, all those guys. But he's very good. Outlier fastball, slider, curveball, and changeup. And I don't say he's the best just because I have Josh Hader as the best lefty reliever in the game. Max out hits per nine, max out K per nines, 112 clutch is still very good. Control is still very solid at 85. That two-seamer is a good one. And, you know, slider, circle change, you have kind of like the 3 speeds. He does have outlier in that two-seamer, which you don't see a lot. So outlier fastball that's going to be touching 100 with some movement, kind of like a sinker, is very good coming there. He does have only 3 pitchers, and I think that's where we're all at, where it's like there's not a lot of lefty relievers, but Josh Hader is still a stud. But that will do it for my top 5 cards at every single position. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you guys did, let me know down in the comment section below, and let me know by liking the video and subscribing to the channel if you have not. Up next, we're going to have just the budget cards. We're going to focus on the budget beasts. We mentioned some of them already, but that's going to be the next video. But again, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll check it on the next one.